To be an Iteso is to be part of the great history. The Iteso are believed to be part of the ancestral group and one of the 12 lost tribes in the Bible. Till today, the Iteso practice the ancient ways. The present-day culture of the Iteso is reflected in biblical history, where Iteso remove bones of their dead loved ones from the graves when they are moving elsewhere, as seen when Joseph died in Egypt at the age of 110, and his body was embalmed and placed in a coffin. The Israelites carried his remains with them during the Exodus from Egypt, and they were eventually buried in Shechem in the land of Canaan, a typical culture of the Iteso people. The Iteso buried their deceased on ancestral land to mark territory. Till today, when one goes to court over issues of land, the greatest evidence is a grave of a deceased one. Land to the Iteso carries value beyond just heritage. It is identity, strength, and the breath of the community. This is Pascal Amiret, a politician and a cultural leader who has dedicated his life to preserving the Iteso culture through managing and hosting of festivals like the popular Eastern Akogo Festival.
What does land mean for us here in Teso? And why is land such an important topic? And why is it a very sensitive and crucial topic and crucial thing for us in Teso sub-region? It is believed culturally that you can only get the wrath of a Teso when you touch his land or touch his wife. Those are like no-go areas. So don't touch his land, don't touch his wife. If you touch those ones, you will see the wrath, the leopard mentality of a Teso man. And so that is just sort of to show you the level of importance, the level of how we put land as a serious issue. So land in itself is more than just land for selling, buying and selling like a commodity. Land is more about identity. It is who we are. People are so attached to their ancestral places, where their ancestors are buried, where their people are buried. So land is about identity. Land is about origin. Land is about who we are. And so in addition to the value that land gives us in terms of economic outcome of land, in terms of other socio-cultural, there are places which are highly of value, cultural heritage that people want to keep. You realize in Katak, in places like Opoyongo, in places like Angisa, there are cultural sites, there are places which have been designated for specific cultural activities. They believe that there is some supernatural, or there are some supernatural occurrences, there are some interactions that you can have with God and many other things. So land is just beyond us. It's for now and the future generation. So our role in Teso is to preserve the land for the future generation. And so I will start from there. The land governance system in Teso is not about ownership of land. So discussing ownership is very subjective. Why? Is that land is largely owned in association with others. You own it in association with your brothers, in association with your children, in association with your wife, in association with your clan, depending on whether it is hunting ground land, or it is basically grazing land, or it is cultural land. So the question of ownership, that this is my land and as an individual, is very, very subjective. And so while of course it is evolving that land transactions are occurring now, a few individuals are selling their land in exchange for money. This is a new development. But let's discuss the origin. So land is very sensitive, and it is for passing on for the future generations. And so that be the case, our role is to protect it as a clan. Our role is to know if, for example, I've bought land wherever I've bought it. The clan is interested in knowing that the land we have acquired in such and such a place, it is for our son, and it is their role to protect it. And so the system is structured in such a way that there is a clan, whose role is to oversee that the size of the land of the clan does not reduce, rather it increases. And wherever that land is, whether you bought it as an individual, it is our role as a clan to protect it from grabbers, to protect it from anybody who wants to do any funny thing on the land. And so the clan provides different roles in terms of administration. It gives the endorsement. So you can't sell land in Teso as an individual. You sell land in consultation with the clan. And there are reasons which the clan believes are valid for you to sell land. But before you sell that land, one, the process is such a way that you must exhaust within your clan and family whether or not there is someone who can buy the land. And if you fail to get that kind of person, then you begin sourcing from the Iteso culture. Who else within the Iteso? And if you fail, that is when you widen the circle to be able to get other people outside. So, so land, the idea is that it's a protective community. It's a community that is trying to make sure that the land is rotating within themselves and that they are protecting. And so because of that background, land is not allowed to be sold for any other reason, such as luxury or something. So land has reasons. For you to say, I want to sell land, there must be valid reasons. One of the valid reasons is, for example, death. If someone has died and you have bills of burial, somehow it's a valid one. If it is about sickness, it's a valid one. Someone is sick and they need to get treatment and there is no other way except to sell. In some cases, they will accept ideas such as if there is need for school fees for the children and there is no other way. But before they do that, people try to explore that. Can we help the children? Can we help so and so to be able to overcome these challenges of paying school fees? So the reasons must be valid. And so before you do any land transaction, you have to, if it is about selling, you have to be in consultation with the clan. If it is about renting it out, the same. Before you rent your land out, you need to do it in consultation with the clan and say, I want to rent out for this period of time, I have this problem, but eventually the land should revert. Meaning that after the expiry of the rent or the lease, then the land can actually revert back to you as a family and as a clan. So the clan provides overall protection to both land of their children, of the widows. The head of the family, the man and the woman, decide which land activity are you going to do on the land. For example, which crops are you going to grow on the land? Which gardens are you going to leave for grazing? Because in Teso, there's what they call ukasi. You allow the gardens first to fallow before you come back and graze on them. So the gardens which are left, which appear like nobody is using them, but the reason they are doing that is so that they can allow them to fallow, but not that they have been abandoned. So there's land which is allowed to fallow. There is land which they will say we shall use this for specific crops. And so that decision making is done by the head of the family. In the absence of the father, let's say is the late, then the wife together with the heir make those kind of decisions and say, okay, let us do ABCD on this land. So those decisions on land use, on land transaction, selling, buying, but buying usually is the consultation is within the family. The wife and the man and the children can decide to acquire another extra piece of land. Actually, in Teso, men ideally don't own land, because you buy land for your children and your wife or wives. So you, a man, you cannot say I have ownership rights. Rather, we focus on rights, a bundle of rights. And this bundle of rights I'm talking about include using the land, accessing the land, doing a few transactions on the land. So you look at this bundle of rights. Can you access the land? Can you use the land? Can you gift it? Those bundle of rights. To what level can you do certain decisions on the land? But the question of saying this is my land is something that the Teso culture is not clear on.
This is Eneman, a musician whose music carries with it the values, customs, and beauty of the Iteso culture.
My name is original. I'm called Nelson Wichebo, but for music I use Eneman, and Eneman is just a simple cut of my original names, because the which starts is E, also an N, then the bow goes to E. So when you connect them, brings that simple name in.
Can you first give us an acapella?
Oh, yeah, it is okay. I can do. The music is too much. Idauni tikere on a pop, Ijai kere on in a pepe. Idauni tikere on a pop, Asesene tekere on any chai. Idauni tikere on a pop, Enomono mete jobai polarin. So mamu kwando ngajeni nyobobo, Ijula kitori jalope koneriagi. Yeah, first of all, it is their appearance. And they're always quiet and humble. They're always welcoming. They're just friendly people. If you meet someone who's an Iteso, it's always welcoming, very down to earth, and you know that is an Iteso. Yeah, what makes an Iteso guy stand out is they are inside. I don't know how I can bring it out, but inside them, they are real people. They are full of humanity. Okay. Yeah, it is true. I think they have that pride. When the Iteso came out, they're proud people, by the way, because an Iteso guy, they believe in, as I told you, they're human, so they look at that as not being a serious business for them. But I think they have that internal pride, so that's why you see they don't do such things. If an Iteso guy can't work in a commando place, they have that pride. So that is. Okay, there are quite very many, but we are in a new era, so we are exposed first of all. But there are things, just like me when I grew up. Actually, that cheating is not good. When you're falling in love and you love your wife, you love your family, definitely I don't expect an Iteso guy to cheat, because cheating is not good. First of all, you will expose your family to very many problems. You can separate with your wife, kids will not be okay. You will just disorganize your family. So it's not good to cheat. As Iteso, as a culture, we used to be nomads. So an Iteso guy is so responsible with feeding the family. He's a breadwinner. He has to always bring food in the house, and that is a very big difference. While the madam is a caretaker, she takes care of the home and everything at home. While the other one brings in food, this one takes care of the home. So that is just simple as these people. It's like when you go to and you get some modern Iteso guy, these ladies stay home. They're home people, as I told you earlier. So this Iteso man will leave home and go and labor and look for food. So this woman will stay home, take responsibility of everything at home. That's why they say she's so hardworking and she does almost everything. Yeah, she does most of the donkey work right. It is very true.
Thank you so much. I would like to take her through a nice instrument locally known as a Congo, and it is in the other dialect called the thumb piano in English, and it is just a wooden made out instrument with a metallic command that produces a very interesting sound. A Congo initially was a famous instrument, famously known as the sansa, and it's a non-indigenous adopted by Iteso. And in the later centuries, a Congo was a derivation from the word Congo, which was related with the other country of Congo, whereby the Iteso had an in touch with the Congolese when they had an activity in the later centuries. So when the Iteso returned back home, the people were at home asked them the name of the instrument that they were playing while coming back home, and they had no specific name, but they had to relate the name of the people, the country of the people who introduced the instrument, as the Congolese or people from Congo are the guys who introduced this instrument, who modified it. So that is how the name Akongo was derived. So up to today, it is like playing Akongo so much, and because it helps them, accompany them in longer distance walking, and in most cases when there is an issue or when there is a function, Akongo is usually played as one of the entertainment instruments. So it really implies that people have to play Akongo in most cases when they want to feel themselves or when they want to have an entertainment. And here we want to play some sound to really give you a feeling of Akongo.